911 location of your emergency. What is the address of the emergency?
With that, but I also was kind of in and out of it because I was scared and I was really tired. Xana passed out, and I thought maybe she was just like sleeping or something. I didn't really know what he looked like because he had a mask, but he wasn't like super tall. I didn't recognize that voice at all. So it didn't even cross my mind if that could be.
It said that he had a just full black mask, see like a ski mask.
You are listening to Criminal Cases Journal. Real stories from the darkest corners of criminal history. Some names have been changed, and some tapes were never meant to be heard. Viewer discretion is advised. This video discusses real-life events involving the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. It contains sensitive topics, including violence and crime, which may be disturbing to some viewers. This content is intended for educational and informational purposes only. In the heart of America's Northwest, where rolling hills meet endless skies, lies Moscow, Idaho, a small town of about 25,000 souls, home to the University of Idaho. It's a place where students chase dreams, form lifelong friendships, and feel safe under the stars. But on a chilling November night in 2022, that sense of security shattered forever. 4 young lives were stolen in a brutal act that gripped the nation. This is the story of the Idaho murders, a tale of loss, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Let's go back to the fall of 2022. The University of Idaho was buzzing with energy. Among its students were Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, 4 vibrant souls on the cusp of adulthood. Kaylee Goncalves, 21, was a senior majoring in general studies. Outgoing and adventurous, she loved traveling and had just bought a new Range Rover, dreaming of a life beyond college. Her best friend was Madison Mogen, also 21, a marketing major known for her infectious smile and close-knit circle. The two were inseparable, often called the dynamic duo. Xana Kernodle, 20, was a junior in marketing, full of life and laughter. She worked at a local Greek restaurant and was deeply in love with her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, 20, a freshman studying recreation, sport, and tourism management. Ethan was a triplet, athletic, and always the life of the party. Together, these 4 represented the best of college life: friendship, love, and promise. On November 12th, 2022, it was a typical Saturday night. Kaylee and Madison hit the town, stopping at a food truck for some late-night grub around 1:40 a.m. Xana and Ethan had been at a fraternity party earlier that evening. By 2 a.m., all 4 were back at the off-campus house on King Road, a modest rental shared by Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and 2 other roommates who survived that night. The house was a hub for friends, with its sliding glass door often left unlocked. Little did they know, as they settled in for the night, danger was lurking in the shadows. But sometime between 3 and 4 a.m., everything changed. In those silent hours, a killer entered the house. The details of what happened next are too heartbreaking to fully describe, but by morning, 4 lives were gone. 2 other roommates were in the house that night, but survived, one of whom later reported seeing a masked figure in the hallway. She locked herself in her room, frozen in fear. It wasn't until nearly 8 hours later, around noon, that a 911 call was made. The 911 call, released later, captured the panic and confusion as friends and roommates tried to explain what they'd found.
911 location of your emergency. What is the address of the emergency?
The call wasn't made by the surviving roommates directly. They passed the phone to a friend, too overwhelmed to speak clearly.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and did not wake me up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, but we gotta go check. But we have to.
Police have said the surviving roommates are not suspects. The town of Moscow was in shock. Who could do this? And why? In cases like this, the first 48 hours are critical. No weapon at the scene, no immediate suspects. It felt like a ghost had struck. The investigation kicked off amid a media frenzy. Moscow police, with help from the Idaho State Police and FBI, combed the area. But for weeks, the killer remained a phantom. Moscow, Idaho, a town of just 25,000, was shaken to its core. Police arrived at the scene and began piecing together a puzzle that seemed impossible at first.
I don't think I ever heard a bang. I didn't think anything about fire or firework
Or
until
gunshot
I told her. I don't think I heard anything like that, but I also was kind of in and out of it because I was scared and I was really tired. And that's when I called and I told her, I need to come to your room because she was the only one that was answering me. So I just ran down there, and for a second I stopped and I saw Xana passed out, and I thought maybe she was just like sleeping or something. I didn't think anything because I was so out of it. And I went into the room and we just fell asleep. And then we woke up this morning and no one was waking up at all. Like no one was answering, which was really weird because all of us wake up around like 9 or 10. And then I called to call Jake, and he came here first. And I told him what happened, and then I looked in the room and he said, "You need to get out and call the cops."
Okay. The guy that you saw, I know it was dark, right? Or were there lights on in the house?
I think there were lights on in the house, I believe.
Okay.
I don't really know what he looked like because he had a mask, but he wasn't like super tall.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10". I think it was maybe my height an inch or two higher or lower. I can't really remember.
So about 6 foot.
I think so. Around there.
How was he built? Fat, skinny, stocky?
More like skinny, but like basketball player kind of skinny. Like not too skinny, but like almost fit skinny in a way. That's what I think. I don't know for sure.
And then the voice, he said, when he said those words, you didn't recognize that voice before.
I didn't recognize him or his voice. I mean, I also couldn't see him, but I didn't recognize that voice at all. It didn't even cross my mind if that could be.
Did you guys have a party last night too? Or?
Not tonight, but there was and we had like a formal thing beforehand. That was 2 days ago.
Okay. So, Maddie and Kaylee were at the club last night. They got grub truck after. Don't know if they ran into anybody that maybe had issues there. They just had a formal the other day without a hitch. There's no issues at formal. So there's nobody that they should be having bad blood. Mm-hmm. So obviously follow-up need to be done at the club and the grub truck at least. I did a very preliminary interview with the 2 people that live here that were here last night. Everybody else I'm about to identify was not here last night, but was here in the parking area when I rolled up, so I'll just get their information.
Everybody asked, is any of these cars belong to these guys?
Ryan asked, sounds like they recognize all these vehicles to include some of the ones down there.
If they ask, none of these can leave for the time being.
Okay.
I need to start once Tyson gets here, we'll start figuring out how to get this along.
Yeah. A couple of them did ask about like bottles of water or something. I don't know if there's anybody logistically that can work that out. We can call EMS
I
too.
have a couple bottles in the car.
Okay. I know would be willing to help out however they can.
Okay, I'll go grab those out of my car.
Okay.
So I'll call them. I'll call Darren and get them.
We have family members walking up for Ethan, the male. Where do you want me to set them?
I will talk to them. Can you start with who you want?
Okay.
You have this information.
What are we trying to just search this residence?
Yep.
Okay.
You're about to talk to you. Hey, I just talked to our shift sergeant. Guy back and starting a search warrant right now.
And then the last calls too, this is the timestamp,
we're gonna
good,
need some help.
right after it happened. Is at 4:21, 4:22, 4:30. She made these phone calls immediately after the bang.
Okay. Okay. Time to call the people that are in the house. And no one answered.
No one answered.
Perfect.
Do we want to shut this down so Travis not falling through?
Probably. I can do that. All right. Thanks, Darren. All right. Sounds like there possibly was one after. Okay. We haven't seen any obvious gunshot wound here. Didn't say that there's anybody. And then, what did your lady say about someone coming in, seeing somebody come in?
She saw a guy masked, about 6 foot, skinny build like a basketball player. She described. Said that he had a just full black mask, see like a ski mask.
What time?
At about 4. Immediately after, she yelled and said, "There's someone in the house." This girl ran, locked herself in a room. Could hear a roommate that was upstairs, Kaylee. Somehow she was able to discern that it was Kaylee screaming. Then she could hear this masked man saying, "Sorry."
Can you call Brett?
She could hear him say, "You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna help you." And then no noise.
No murder weapon was found, but a key piece of evidence was a knife sheath left at the scene, with DNA that would later become crucial. Investigators turned to technology. Surveillance footage from nearby homes showed a white Hyundai Elantra circling the King Road neighborhood multiple times between 3:30 and 4:20 a.m. that night. The car, registered in Pennsylvania without a front license plate, stood out. Cell tower data also placed a phone in the area multiple times before and after the crime. These clues were the first threads in a web that would lead to a suspect. Weeks passed with no answers, and the community grew restless. Families of the victims, especially Kaylee's, spoke out, desperate for justice. Online, true crime communities buzzed with theories, some helpful, some wildly off base. But behind the scenes, police were closing in on a name. Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University. Kohberger was no stranger to the dark side of human behavior. He studied it. Born in Pennsylvania, Kohberger had a troubled past, battling addiction in his teens before turning his life around. He earned a master's in criminal justice and was pursuing his doctorate. Peers described him as awkward but intelligent. But beneath the surface, a fascination with crime that may have crossed into reality. Investigators zeroed in on him through genealogy DNA from the scene, matched to his family's trash. Cell phone pings placed him near the house 12 times before the murders, and that white Elantra registered to him. On December 30th, 2022, Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania, over 2,000 miles from Moscow. The evidence was compelling. DNA on the knife sheath matched Kohberger's. His white Hyundai Elantra matched the car in the surveillance footage, and his phone's cell tower pings placed him near the crime scene multiple times. Prosecutors also noted Kohberger's behavior after the murders, like changing his license plates and driving cross-country, raised red flags. But here's where it gets chilling. Security footage from months earlier showed Kohberger being pulled over by police just blocks from the victim's home. He was calm, polite, but now, looking back, that moment feels eerie. Prosecutors believe Kohberger may have been watching the house long before that night. But why? No clear motive has ever been revealed, leaving families and the public grappling with questions. He pleaded not guilty in May 2023. The case dragged on. Motions, hearings, a gag order to protect the trial. Defense argued for a venue change. It was granted to Boise. Alibis were scrutinized. Kohberger claimed he was stargazing that night. But evidence mounted. A knife sheath left at the scene with his DNA. Eyewitness accounts of a masked figure. Digital footprints that couldn't be erased. Fast forward to 2025. As the trial loomed for August, Kohberger's team pushed for delays. In a stunning turn, on June 30th, he agreed to a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. On July 1st, he pleaded guilty to all counts. July 23rd, 2025. In a Boise courtroom, Judge John Judge sentenced Bryan Kohberger to life without parole. Families shared impact statements, tears, anger, relief. Kohberger showed little emotion, declining to speak. He's now in solitary confinement at a maximum security facility, his appeals likely exhausted. Why did he do it? Motive remains unclear, perhaps a thrill kill or something deeper from his studies. Experts debate nature versus nurture. His defense team argued the evidence was circumstantial, and some legal experts say the case isn't as airtight as it seems. Could there be more to the story? But for Moscow, healing continues. The King Roadhouse was demolished in 2023. Memorials honor the victims, scholarships in their names, a garden on campus. The Idaho murders left a scar on Moscow and the University of Idaho. Vigils brought thousands together to honor Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. Their families shared heartbreaking impact statements at Kohberger's sentencing, speaking of lives full of promise cut short. Kaylee's family even uncovered a possible connection between their daughter and Kohberger, though details remain unclear. This true crime story reminds us how quickly safety can turn to tragedy. This case, solved through dogged police work and technology, still leaves us with questions that may never be answered. What do you think? Does the evidence tell the full story? Or is there more to uncover? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if this video moved you, please like and subscribe for more true crime stories told with respect and care. Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know needs help, resources are available. Stay safe out there.